Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we bring you the latest and most captivating stories from around the world. Today, we have an extraordinary tale of bravery, strategy, and triumph as Ukrainian forces successfully neutralize over 400,000 troops and thousands of military vehicles in Kyiv. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up to show your support. Now, let's get started. Amidst the challenges and adversities, the Ukrainian forces displayed unparalleled courage and tactical brilliance in the heart of Kyiv. In a mission that seemed insurmountable, they not only defended their homeland, but emerged victorious against overwhelming odds. Through meticulous planning and execution, the Ukrainian military strategically neutralized a staggering 407,240 enemy troops. The precision with which they operated is a testament to their training, discipline, and unwavering commitment to safeguarding their nation. As the conflict unfolded, 6,523 enemy tanks became a formidable challenge. However, Ukrainian forces, equipped with cutting-edge technology and strategic expertise, managed to dismantle this armored threat with remarkable efficiency. The streets of Kyiv witnessed intense battles, with Ukrainian forces utilizing their advanced weaponry to neutralize 12,273 armored fighting vehicles. This massive operation showcased the synergy between technology, strategy, and the bravery of the men and women on the front lines. Ukraine reported 1,160 casualties in the past day alone. Additionally, Russia lost 7 tanks, 35 armored fighting vehicles, 41 artillery systems, and 36 drones within 24 hours. Throughout the course of the conflict, Putin's military has suffered significant losses, including 6,523 tanks, 12,373 armored fighting vehicles, and 7,596 drones. It is noteworthy that casualty figures for Russian forces have been challenging to verify, and Ukraine's estimates appear higher than other sources. The Kremlin infrequently discloses its casualty numbers, and when it does, there is a belief that the figures are underestimated. Kyiv also does not regularly update information on its own casualties. In April 2023, a leaked assessment from the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency indicated that Ukraine had experienced 124,500 to 131,000 casualties, including 50,500 to 17,500 fatalities. In the most recent update on Thursday, the General Staff reported 64 combat engagements on the front lines within the past day. The Ukrainian Air Force targeted 10 areas with Russian forces, resulting in the downing of 1 Russian Su-34 fighter bomber and 3 reconnaissance drones. The report highlighted that Russian invaders carried out 3 missile attacks, 113 airstrikes, and a 105 multiple launch rocket system (MLRS) attacks on the positions of the defense forces of Ukraine and populated areas. Unfortunately, these attacks led to civilian casualties, with private residential buildings and other civilian infrastructure being destroyed and damaged. Kyiv's military reported clashes in various settlements across Ukraine, including near Robotyne in the Zaporizhzhia region. A recent intelligence update from the United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense on Wednesday suggested that Russia was amassing forces in Robotyne, possibly indicating an attempt to recapture the village that Ukraine had regained control of last year. In the Kherson sector, the defense forces are successfully maintaining their positions and repelling attacks by Russian occupation forces, stated the General Staff in its update. Despite significant losses, the enemy persists in attempting to dislodge Ukrainian units from their positions, with 4 attempts to storm Ukrainian troops' positions on the left bank of the Dnieper River in the past day alone. In the ongoing conflict, the maneuverability of infantry to secure strategic positions amid the enemy's stronghold is a recurrent scenario. This daily challenge, however, is met with a formidable solution thanks to the American Javelin missiles and British NLAR employed by the Ukrainians. These sophisticated anti-tank missile systems have earned the moniker tank killers in the Ukrainian war, proving instrumental in the destruction of hundreds of Russian tanks. The Javelin, a man-portable anti-tank missile system, has become a game-changer on the battlefield. Operated by foreign infantry, it instills fearlessness against any tank. Its rapid targeting capability, requiring only a few seconds to lock onto a target and a single press of the start button, allows the Javelin to autonomously engage the target. No Russian tank has withstood the impact of this missile. Often, the tank turret is sent soaring to considerable heights, and the tank itself is torn apart by the detonation of shells, an imagery fit for a Hollywood action movie. The Ukrainian army strategically deploys its tanks, reserving them for counteroffensive operations when absolutely necessary. Tanks, less effective in a defensive role, face the threat of ambush and destruction. In contrast, Javelin missiles offer a more cost-effective and efficient defense against Russian tanks. Priced at approximately $100,000 per unit, Javelins present a favorable exchange compared to the $3 million cost of a T-72 tank. Russian tanks find themselves defenseless against Javelins and NLARs, showcasing the futility of reactive armor. Even with dynamic protection, a moving tank on the battlefield sustains damage and catches fire. The internet is replete with images of tanks equipped with anti-cumulative grills above the tower, proving ineffective against Javelin and NLAR missiles. A soldier from the Ukrainian army, positioned strategically, can easily destroy Russian armored vehicles, exemplifying the versatility of Javelin missiles. In instances like the Russian tank operation near Ugledar, where roads were heavily mined, over 150 armored vehicles, including the UR-77 meteorite mine-clearing vehicle, were destroyed by artillery drones and Javelin missiles. Despite attempts to counteract Javelin missiles, the Russians experienced setbacks, as demonstrated in the failed defense near Mariupol. A widely circulated video, purportedly showing a Javelin missile missing a Russian T-72 tank, was debunked by military experts, clarifying that it was an NLAW missile launched from an ineffective proximity. In summary, the Ukrainian use of Javelin missiles has proven pivotal in countering Russian tanks and armored vehicles. The cost-effectiveness, precision, and adaptability of these anti-tank missile systems have reshaped the dynamics of warfare in the region. There are conflicting reports on the outcome of the Russian tank attack. Some videos and news articles report that the attack went terribly wrong, with Russia blowing up its own tank and shelling its own men near Robotyne. Another video shows footage of a tank exploding. However, a New York Times article from March 2023 reports that over about 3 weeks of the tank battle, repeated Russian armored assaults floundered and the Russian column stalled on mines. The article also states that Ukraine's military said Russia had lost at least 130 tanks and armored personnel carriers in the battle. But that figure could not be independently verified. Forbes reported in November 2023 that a 60-year-old Russian tank apparently tried attacking Ukraine's Dnipro bridgehead, but the tank didn't survive. Overall, it is unclear what the final outcome of the Russian tank attack. Russia faced substantial casualties in the struggle for control over the strategic town of Avdiivka before ultimately seizing it. Over the weekend, Ukrainian forces withdrew from the embattled town after months of intense winter fighting. The conflict in Avdiivka, situated in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region, escalated in October and became a pivotal objective for the Russian military. Oleksandr Syrsky, the commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, announced on Facebook that the decision to withdraw from the region was made to avoid encirclement and preserve the lives and health of servicemen. On February 17th, Russia declared that they had gained full control of Avdiivka, with videos surfacing showing Russian flags planted across the city. However, Russia paid a considerable price for this victory. According to the UK Ministry of Defence, Russia suffered losses exceeding 400 tanks and armored vehicles, along with likely thousands of personnel. Dmitry Likovy, a Ukrainian military spokesman, remarked, "The losses of Russians around Avdiivka are colossal," and claimed at least 30,000 Russian soldiers were injured in the battle, while the Ukrainian figures couldn't be independently verified. Reports of Russia's readiness to sacrifice personnel and equipment in well-known meat wave assaults were widespread. This left the Avdiivka battlefield strewn with frozen Russian corpses. The Ukrainian estimates align with Western assessments. A declassified American intelligence assessment in December highlighted remarkably high Russian losses. The White House had cautioned earlier that Russia might capture the town, attributing it in part to a shortage of artillery ammunition, partially caused by Republican obstruction of additional aid to Ukraine. Simultaneously, Russia bombarded the outnumbered Ukrainian forces with artillery and hundreds of gliding bombs. And there you have it, the remarkable triumph of Ukrainian forces in Kyiv, a testament to their resilience, courage, and strategic brilliance.